Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Ripe for Reissue. Oh, I got a couple of boxes we're going to be dealing with. It's so upsetting that these things aren't available, particularly this one. Malcolm Arnold, the complete Conifer recordings. I mean, outrageous that this isn't available. 11 CDs. They released it at budgie price. I had them all as singles. And you've got the complete symphonies featuring Vernon Handley. Well, I'll tell you what's on them, because it's the most comprehensive series of Malcolm Arnold recordings that was ever done, probably. Naxos's edition comes close. They have a lot of other stuff as well. But these are wonderful performances by and large. And I just don't understand why you can't just keep them around, because we should have them. Malcolm Arnold is major, and this is only the second symphony cycle of his available, complete, and it's, like I said, the performances are very good. I think the sound on the Chandos cycle is a little better, but there's nothing wrong with the performances. What is that? Mildred, yes, of course. She wants to play because I want to work. So here we go. Malcolm Arnold, Symphonies 1 and 5 with the Royal Phil and Vernon Handley. And then we've got a grand overture. No one has done this as well since the Hoffnung festivals came out. Festival recording, the original one, the first one. It's incomparable. I don't understand why it's so hard to do this well, but there's too much organ. It's got a big blowsy sound. It's silly, ridiculous. I don't know. The Concerto for Two Pianos, Three Hands, which is delightful. Carnival of Animals, which has like other animals, the giraffe, sheep, cows, mice, jumbo, and bats. Ooh, yes. And Symphony number 2. So that stuff is there. Then we've got Malcolm Arnold, let's say 3 and 4 symphonies. Right, we expected that. Symphony 6, the Fantasia on a Theme of John Field, which is a marvelous work. Sweeney Todd, Concert Suite for Orchestra. And the Tam O'Shanter Overture, which is one of his best overtures as well. And then we've got, let's see, Symphony number 5. No, Symphony 7 and 8. There we go for that one. Symphony 9, Fantasy for Oboe, and the Concertino for Oboe and Strings, which is the arrangement of the Sonatina. But it's a very good arrangement. It's perfectly fine. Symphony 7, Disc 7. We did Symphony 7. Beckus the Dandy Prat, his early delightful version of Till Eulenspiegel, which is what that is. Water Music, Anniversary Overture, Philharmonic Concerto, the Peterloo Overture, A Flourish for Orchestra, and his Symphony for Strings. These are all with Vernon Handley and various other people. Then we've got the Serenade for Small Orchestra, Larch Trees, his tone poem for orchestra, which is lovely. The Concerto for Viola and Chamber Orchestra, and the Concerto for 28 Players, which is a wonderful, wonderful work. It really is. The violist is Rivka Golani, by the way, right? Am I going to? Yes, I got that right. Then we've got, let's see, 3 more discs. The Concerto for 2 Violins and Strings, the Concerto for Clarinet and Strings, number 1, Concerto for Flute and Strings, number 1, Concerto for Horn and Strings, number 2. He wrote so much music, and it's delightful, for the most part anyway. Concerto for Clarinet and Orchestra, number 2. Concerto for Horn and Orchestra, number 1. Concerto for Flute and Orchestra, number 2. Concerto for Piano Duet and Strings. And then finally, Arnold on brass. It's brass stuff. Scottish dances, some of his brass music, the English dances, the Fantasy for Brass Band, the Little Suite for Brass Band number 1, the Cornish dances. It's got all of his dances. And that's it. I mean, it's 11 absolutely first-class discs of Malcolm Arnold stuff. No notes, no nothing, no information other than what's on the discs. But I don't care. This is the kind of thing that, I mean, if labels go through the time, the trouble, the expense to make these recordings, there's no reason at all. There's no reason at all why they should not be regularly, consistently, permanently, eternally, perpetually available. And Malcolm Arnold, as I said, is just a great composer. I mean, there's more to him than the music to the bridge on the River Kwai, of which, as we know, he did not write the Colonel Bogey March, which is the most famous thing from the film soundtrack to Bridge on the River Kwai. He had his emotional problems. He had a turbulent life. It may be why he's somewhat ignored. His Ninth Symphony is terribly desolate and tragic and emotionally abandoned. So that might have something to do with it. I don't know. Maybe it's because he doesn't do what you think he's supposed to. You know, his music is often humorous and brilliantly colorful, and everyone thinks it's just tuneful and fun and pops music like. Then you listen to it, you listen to his symphonies, and you find that it's often bitter and tragic and dark and you know, gnarly, and good for him. I mean, he deserves to be taken seriously. Yes, and to be available so that we can take him seriously. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.